Welcome to Short Movie Channel. The movie starts with Adam leaving his farm. He meets a woman named Parker. We learn that Parker owns the land Adam is renting from her. It's clear that Parker is happy Adam rented the land because he's been taking good care of it and has restored it to being fertile again. Parker tells Adam that she thinks of him like a son and invites him over for dinner. Adam tells her he also sees her as a mother figure and agrees to join her for dinner. He thanks her, saying it's the first time someone has shown interest in him. Later, Parker returns home and turns on her computer. Suddenly, a message pops up on the screen telling her the system has a virus and that she should contact tech support immediately. So Parker calls the antivirus company she subscribes to. A man named Grant answers the phone. Parker explains what happened, and Grant apologizes, saying they've been having some technical issues. He walks her through a few steps to help prevent her data from being deleted. Parker follows his instructions, and everything seems to go back to normal. Then, Grant tells her that the company wants to compensate her with $500 for the inconvenience. He asks for the account number she'd like the money sent to. Parker gives him the account number, which is for the charity organization she runs. But instead of sending $500, Grant transfers $50,000 to her account. He then calls Parker back and says he sent the wrong amount by mistake. He tells her he could lose his job if she doesn't return the extra money. Parker agrees to return the money without hesitation. She logs into the charity's account using her password. The account has $2 million in donations. She sends back the money to the same account it came from. But suddenly, all the money from the charity's account is transferred to Grant's account. The charity's balance goes from $2 million to zero. Parker tries to call Grant to find out what's happening, but he doesn't answer. She realizes she's been scammed. Meanwhile, Grant and his team celebrate pulling off their latest online scam. It turns out Grant is a professional cyber scammer. That night, Adam arrives at Parker's house for dinner. When he gets there, he finds the door open, a gun on the floor, and Parker dead on the chair. Suddenly, Parker's daughter, Verona, appears behind Adam with a gun pointed at him. She tells him to get down on the floor. We find out that Verona works as an FBI agent. She's shocked that Adam knows who she is and calls her by name. He tells her how sorry he is about her mom's death. But at that point, Verona considers Adam a suspect and arrests him. She hands him over to the police. After some time, Adam is released because there's no evidence linking him to Parker's death. The medical examiner confirms that Parker took her own life. Later, Verona is alone in her mother's house, checking the computer. She discovers the reason her mom ended her life. The next day, Verona meets with Adam, apologizes for how she treated him, and thanks him for always being there for her mom. She tells him that her mother was scammed, and all the charity's donations were stolen. Adam asks who scammed her. Verona says it was an unknown person working under the cover of an antivirus company. Verona explains that she can't file charges against the company because the evidence shows her mother sent the money willingly. That means the company can't be held legally accountable. She asks Adam to help her catch the people behind the scam, but he refuses, still grieving Parker's death, and walks away. Later, Adam calls a colleague from a secret organization called the Beehive. We learn that the Beehive works with the U.S. government to carry out secret missions, but outside the law. Adam's colleague is surprised to hear from him, since he retired a long time ago. He tells her it's personal and asks her to gather information on the antivirus company. After a short while, Adam's colleague calls back with the company's address. After that, Adam goes to the company headquarters, carrying gasoline canisters. There, he runs into two of the company's security guards who try to stop him from entering. But Adam fights them and takes them out within seconds. Then he goes inside the building, heads straight to the employee's office, and tells everyone to leave immediately or they'll burn to death. Adam starts pouring gasoline all over the place. The employees get terrified and flee the building. Shortly after, Grant arrives with a group of security personnel and orders them to attack Adam. But Adam moves quickly and skillfully, taking them out one by one with ease. Grant is stunned by what he sees and asks Adam why he's doing this. Adam sarcastically replies that he's a beekeeper, and that he enjoys getting rid of wasps from the hive. Then he plants bombs in the building, connects them to the company's phone system, and tells Grant that the same phone lines that used to bring them money will now be the reason their company gets destroyed. He explains that as soon as the first customer calls, the whole building will explode. He advises Grant to leave quickly, and then walks away. Grant panics and runs out as fast as he can. Moments later, a customer calls the company, triggering a massive explosion that completely destroys the building. Grant immediately calls the company owner, Derek, and tells him what happened. He says he doesn't know who the guy was, only that he claimed to be a beekeeper. He also says all the security cameras were destroyed in the fire, so there's no evidence left. Derek gets furious because the building was worth $30 million. He tells Grant that whoever did this must have been seeking revenge, and he orders him to investigate everyone they've scammed recently. A little while later, Derek sends a group of mercenaries to assist Grant. Grant takes them straight to Parker's house, because she's the one they scammed for the largest amount of money, and she would have the strongest motive for revenge. By coincidence, they see Adam driving toward a warehouse, so they quickly follow him to finish him off. When Grant and the mercenaries enter the warehouse, they find it completely empty. It turns out Adam knew they were coming, and suddenly he appears from various spots inside the warehouse and starts taking them all down. In the end, only Grant is left. Adam cuts off Grant's fingers and walks away. Later, Verona arrives with police forces and records that the warehouse was completely burned. She finds the body of one of the mercenaries and discovers Grant's ID, revealing that he was the head of the virus control company. Verona returns to the office with her partner Eli and tells him that Adam was the one in the warehouse. That means Grant and the mercenaries went there to kill Adam. From this, she concludes that Adam was the one who blew up the virus control company to avenge his mother's death. Meanwhile, Grant is in his car calling Derek, telling him that Adam killed all their men and even cut off his fingers. Suddenly, Adam appears and wraps Grant in a seatbelt, tying it tightly inside the car. He starts the car, aiming it toward the ocean. The car drags Grant behind it into the water. Adam then grabs Grant's phone and speaks directly to Derek, who's been listening to everything. Adam tells Derek that he's going to kill him too, then hangs up and drives off in Grant's car. Later, Derek goes to Wallace, the company's head of security, and tells him everything. Wallace's expression changes when he hears the phrase, "The Hive." We learn that Wallace is a former CIA director and knows how dangerous members of the secret Hive organization can be. He explains to Derek that the man they're dealing with is extremely dangerous. Wallace then calls Jessica, who turns out to be the President of the United States, and explains the situation her son is in. Jessica demands that Wallace protect her son at any cost. Wallace contacts Agent Janet, who is in charge of the Hive organization, and tells her that one of her former agents named Adam is threatening the life of the president's son. Janet explains that Adam retired a while ago and is no longer affiliated with the organization. But Wallace insists that she eliminate him immediately. Meanwhile, the FBI learns from the police that Grant's body was found in the ocean. They rush to the scene and are shocked to discover that his fingers were cut off. That night, Adam is at a gas station when a car crashes into his vehicle. A woman named Landers, one of the Hive's agents, steps out and gets into a brutal fight with him. During the fight, a police car arrives, but Landers opens fire without hesitation, killing everyone inside. Adam attacks her again, and when she loses control, she runs to the machine gun mounted on her vehicle and opens fire everywhere. Adam throws a jar of honey at her, sets her on fire, and calmly walks toward her. Then he cuts off her finger, puts it in a bag, takes someone's car from the gas station, and drives away just as the entire station explodes. Moments later, Janet calls Wallace to tell him she failed to kill Adam and explains what happened. She realizes that all the assassins in the Hive are afraid to face Adam because they know he's more skilled and powerful than any of them. Janet apologizes to Wallace and says she won't be able to help him anymore. The next day, Wallace meets a group of mercenaries. We find out they are former soldiers in the U.S. Navy. Wallace explains to their leader, named Bates, that their mission is to eliminate Adam. He makes it clear that Adam has advanced combat experience and is the best agent from the Hive organization. Meanwhile, Adam arrives at the warehouse that belonged to the hitman he killed the night before. He uses the hitman's fingerprint to unlock a secret lock and enters the place. Adam starts using the computer, searching for information on the antivirus company. Eventually, he finds the address of the company's headquarters. He grabs a large stash of weapons and explosives and leaves. At the same time, Verona, her partner, and Agent Wiley meet with the FBI director. Verona briefs him on the recent events, including what happened at the antivirus company. She reveals that Adam is behind it all and that he's a former agent of a secret organization called the Hive. She explains that Adam is out for revenge against Derek, the owner of the antivirus company. She insists they should provide security at the company's headquarters because she believes Adam will attack it. The FBI director agrees. A short while later, a group of federal agents is stationed outside Derek's company building. Adam shows up and tells them to leave if they don't want to get hurt. The team leader is surprised by his boldness and orders his men to arrest Adam on the spot. But Adam reacts quickly, fights them all, and takes them down. Then he heads inside the company, straight to the CEO's office. Suddenly, Bates and the group of mercenaries appear and open fire on Adam, but he manages to escape and runs through the corridors. The mercenaries chase after him, searching everywhere. Using his skills, Adam eliminates them one by one until he finally reaches the leader, Bates. They engage in a fierce battle, and Adam ultimately takes him down. Adam then confronts the company director, demanding to know who owns the company. The director shows him a photo of Derek and says he doesn't know where he is. Just then, Verona and her FBI team arrive at the scene, but Adam escapes before anyone can catch him. Verona finds a photo of Derek, the son of the U.S. President Jessica, on a computer. She returns to the FBI and calls the director. She tells him that the antivirus company is one of Jessica's businesses and that Derek is using it as a trap to lure and scam victims. Elsewhere, Wallace gets a call and learns everything that's going on. He immediately calls his mom to ask if he can hide at her house, knowing he's in danger because Adam now knows he's the real owner of the company. The next day, Derek is at his mother's house, which is under heavy security. With him is Ross, the leader of a South American mercenary group that Wallace hired to protect Derek. Jessica, Derek's mom, is throwing a big party. Adam shows up, enters through the sewer system, and disguises himself as a Special Forces soldier. He sneaks into the house easily and plants explosives on the Special Forces vehicles without being noticed. He changes clothes and enters the party as if he's one of the guests. In another room, the FBI director is with Derek and Jessica, explaining Derek's scams using the antivirus company. Jessica gets furious and argues with her son, blaming him for ruining her reputation and the family's name. Derek defends himself, saying he did it to fund her presidential campaign and that without the money, she would have never become president. Verona is also on site as part of the security team. She suddenly spots Adam and alerts everyone. A massive chase breaks out between Adam, the Special Forces, and the mercenaries. They all pursue Adam, and because they outnumber him, they manage to corner him in the garden. Wallace arrives and orders Ross to kill Adam. But Adam surprises everyone by detonating the cars around them. Amidst the chaos, he escapes and makes his way toward Jessica's room. Now a force of destruction, Adam kills anyone in his path. Special Forces, mercenaries, none are spared. Eventually, Ross confronts him, and they engage in a brutal fight. Ross is a fierce fighter too and manages to stab Adam with a knife. But Adam powers through the pain, disarms him, and stabs him multiple times, killing him. Meanwhile, Jessica decides to hold a press conference to reveal the truth to the public. This means Derek will be prosecuted for fraud and scams. Derek refuses to be arrested. He pulls out a gun, shoots the FBI director, and kills him. Suddenly, Adam bursts into the room, ready to kill Derek. But Derek grabs his mother and puts a gun to her head, using her as a human shield. Verona arrives and pleads with Adam to surrender. But Adam ignores her and shoots Derek in the head, killing him. He then jumps out the window and escapes. Verona chases after him but lets him go, because she knows that Adam was avenging his mother's death and going after the criminals who destroyed her life. And that's how the movie ends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give us a like and share your thoughts in the comments. And make sure to subscribe to the channel.